I really thought doing my second book launch was going to be a lot easier than doing the first one, but in fact, it's been a lot harder than I expected. It is way too early in the morning right now. I am supposed to be setting up for today's daily writing sprint, and I am so sleep deprived. My daughter, despite going to bed at a very reasonable hour last night, did not actually fall asleep until sometime past 10 p.m. I don't know exactly when, because I was just lying there going, please, please just go to sleep. It is the day before my book release. I have a hard stop at 2:30 p.m. because while my husband can do the drop-off this morning to school, I am gonna have to do the pickup. I thought I was gonna get better with my second book launch, but no, I think this is actually going to be worse than my first book. I don't know how I'm going to get all this done. When you're self-publishing, you are just the one person. So if you don't have the systems and processes set up in the first place, which of course you wouldn't because nobody has any of those set up the first time round, unless you really take the opportunity to do that before your second book goes out, the second book launch is going to be just as messed up as the first one, but in slightly different ways. You walk into every single mistake with your eyes wide open, knowing that there is nothing you can do at this stage to prevent that mistake from happening.
Brandon Sanderson has just dropped the most trolly video on the planet. It is just like 45 seconds of the word "there's always another secret" with like mist swirling around it. I'm thinking the announcement that has to be coming from Brandon Sanderson tomorrow is there's gonna be a big screen adaptation of Mistborn finally. Why Brandon, why do you do this to me? Every bit of me is just like, I need to be working on my book launch right now because I am super behind, but no, I also need to be working on the revisions for my prose novel because I'm also behind on those.
I see a lot of people asking if they should juggle two pen names at the same time, and the response from more experienced self-published authors is always no, don't. The way you build up a readership is to publish consistently and frequently, which means under the same pen name and the same kinds of books. So trying to publish my first book was already a massive learning curve, and then I went from that to trying to write and publish the second book while still marketing and promoting the first book, and I was already struggling multitasking that. I did not know what possessed me to try and launch a book at the same time that I'm struggling through revisions on my debut prose novel, because that was a colossally stupid idea. I feel like I've had split author personality for the last 3 months, but I am committed now and I am too proud to back down from my stupid decisions. So this is probably gonna really suck, so don't do what I'm doing right now. It is almost 8 o'clock here in the morning, which means I should probably think about having breakfast. I've been awake for 3 hours now and I am starving. Only the thing is, my daughter is probably gonna wake up at any minute, and if I go outside and start making breakfast, then I'm gonna lose the next hour. Thankfully, I wrote my launch newsletter last night, so that's kind of all ready to go. I need to publish my audiobook. I need to set up the Smashwords pre-sale so that I can update the link in the newsletter and send that out. From there, I need to schedule up all of the Facebook and Instagram posts and everything like that. And then, hopefully by then, my author copies will be arriving and I'll get a nice little buzz at the door. The hours I work now are not all that different to what I used to work, but now that I work from home all the time, it's just really difficult to get away from the guilt that because I am home and I can hear my daughter looking for me, that I am not a bad mother for hiding in here trying to get my work done. It's 9:45 now. I have just finished scheduling out my Instagram and Facebook posts. The newsletter has gone. That was scheduled to go at 9 a.m. this morning, and my author copies have arrived. So we are going to unbox these and go over and take some product photos for the website. My daughter loves to cut up all of this scrap paper, and there are little things like these everywhere. The other thing I wanted to do was to try and publish the KDP version of the paperback, except I can't because their automated manuscript checker keeps picking up this portion of the illustration and saying that I have text outside the margins, which I don't, because this is part of the illustration. No actual text is outside of it. And so now I have to wait for KDP to come back to me, and they have said in this email, they're like, oh, we don't know what's going on. We're going to need a few days to check it out. So yeah, I guess the KDP paperback is not happening, which is why if you plan on doing print, you should always set it up on Ingram Spark, because at least the Ingram Spark paperback is working. And the thing is, with my kids' books, with the way they're priced, which I have to price them that way because of how expensive it is to do print on demand with premium color, most people buy the paperback, so I have to have a paperback, otherwise I'm not going to get any sales whatsoever. I think I just vacuumed up a Lego. I'm going to have to go through this and try and dig out the Lego, which I am not looking forward to. Oh, why is the After my last book launch, I made some really big mistakes the first time round, and I was so focused on not making those same mistakes twice that I entirely forgot about looking at the overall process and making sure that I had systems in place, which total fail for an auditor, honestly. Hopefully these all work and there are no errors in them. The cardboard is damp because it has been raining like the whole week. Hang on. Why would they do this? I've got the English only version of my first book, bilingual version of my second book. The hardcovers must still be processing somewhere. Oh, unless I did I not order the hard copies? I'm sure I did. If there's one thing I want to do differently going forward, it is to make sure that between now and when my next book is going to come out, I am going to make sure I sit down and really write down every single step I have to do start to finish, and then run through that checklist with one of my single language editions of my kids' books, just to make sure I have every single step along the way all figured out and systemized, and that there are not going to be any deviations from the process. I am extremely terrible at product photography. The setup behind me is incredibly lame because you cannot see the books actually because the bike is so big, but I don't think outside photography is going to be happening today. Oh, I hope this is the second delivery. Oh no, it's probably the rental agent. I've also just locked myself out of my Ingram Spark account because for whatever reason it triggered a password change. So yeah, today is going great. I'm waiting for the temporary password to come to my email, and once I get that, I'll be able to log into Ingram Spark and just see what is up with the hardcovers and whether they're gonna get here today. I guess I don't need that per se for the pre-sale to work, but it would just be nice. I've done the pre-sale, newsletter has been sent, audiobook has been published. Take the web store catalog. Oh my gosh, with what? Well, with the product photos, which I have not really been able to take because I don't have my hardcovers yet. I could go and update the catalog on Instagram. The Google Play voucher does not work the way I thought it would, so I'm gonna give that a pass. I'm still locked out of my Ingram Spark account, so I can't get started on doing these. Oh no, I suppose I could start doing the text layout for them and get that all ready, and then when my Ingram Spark account unlocks, I can then do the upload, and hopefully that will be fairly painless. There's just too many details to track at the same time in your head, and that headspace is better used for more strategic stuff anyway. If I had done a proper checklist for myself this time last year, I would not have just experienced an entire week of absolute chaos. I also have just received this email back from KDP, and they don't like the margin. I need to add some stuff. Okay, fine. That is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and get that done despite all of the other things going on today. This is not how I wanted the day before launch to go, but we are here, so we shall deal with it. What? No. Very, very no. Extremely no.
What? You don't want to enter put more for the
No. I have spent 2 hours messing around with my website, trying to fix all the stuff that I screwed up and did not really think through, including all the read-along pages and the web store and everything like that. I think what I'm going to try and do is to move on to the single language versions and get all of those typeset and all the formatted stuff. I also have to deal with the KDP paperback formatting, which actually, you know what, I might try to deal with that first while my lunch is reheating. Lunch is going to be some random leftovers in the fridge, which turns out to be just rice and some sauce leftovers from some braised chicken that we made like, I don't even know when, and several slices of sausage, which I'm also not sure how long that's been around, but yeah, this is the state of things right now because I do not have time to go and get other food. Okay, so we are exporting the KDP thing right now. The beeping in the background is my lunch being ready, and let's hope that this worked. I really feel like having a third cup of tea right now, but that would be a terrible idea, so I'm just going to drink water. Checklists are not a cure-all. I've seen a lot of bad checklists, and I've also seen people use checklists for the wrong reason many times, but when used correctly, they can be really powerful tools to help you stop making stupid mistakes like I have this time around. I have just spent the last hour just kind of like staring blankly at various things. I am so stuck. I can't get into my Ingram Spark account. I am waiting on KDP to come back to me because even though I fixed the issues with the margins on the interior file, the print previewer is still not letting me approve the proof. Well, hopefully tomorrow I will have a resolution to both my Ingram Spark account and my KDP issue. The next thing I should probably be working on is the giveaways, but yeah, I'm a little frazzled right now, and I'm still waiting on the hardcovers to arrive. I need to go and pick my daughter up from school in about 13 minutes. I don't know what I'm gonna do with 13 minutes. Maybe I'll just like take some time to myself. No, I can't because I've got dishes in the sink. I decided to go take a shower because we have reached the point where showering and personal hygiene is like a luxury thing. I swear the universe has a sense of humor because real reason, I literally just got my period. I thought about taking this bit out of the vlog and then I was like, you know what? This is something that affects a lot of the population. This is just a great day. We have a birthday party planned because my daughter is extremely excited about the idea of her birthday, and so that is what we will be doing this afternoon, and hopefully tomorrow is gonna go a lot better than today.
跟住每樣嘢做完呢，我哋就剔咗佢。
Last night I had trouble sleeping because I was just lying there going, what on earth is this Brandon Sanderson announcement going to be? I am so sleep deprived again. I have given up all pretenses that I'm just not going to ignore my tea schedule and just drink tea until this book is all done. Overnight, more things did happen. The hardcovers have apparently left the print facility. I also got emails from beta readers and one ASE reader who has apparently left me a review on Goodreads, but that has not shown up yet. And the other exciting thing that happened was I doubled my lifetime ebook sales, which is not a difficult achievement when you consider that I have sold maybe like 3 ebooks ever. Stormlight 5 prologue, oh my goodness. I really want to read it. I really want to read it. I'm not going to read this right now. I'm supposed to be on stream. We're supposed to be writing. I can be an adult about this.
No, I still cannot form coherent sentences. Hopefully that is not going to impact my writing ability.
This book was really hard to get out, mainly because I think I got distracted halfway through. I picked a content marketing strategy, which took a lot more time than I had envisioned, which meant progress on my second book went a lot slower than I had thought. So instead of being able to publish this book in September last year, it dragged on for another 6 months. And trying to juggle 2 different books at the same time was just it was awful. I never want to have to do that again.
I feel like I'm not doing it very well with revisions. I wish I was at like line level revisions, but I'm not. I'm still at structure revisions, which is like a problem. I might go and reward myself with like another cup of tea and maybe No, I can't go and look at the Sanderson thing right now.
It is now just past 8 o'clock and I think I'm gonna go and make a decent breakfast today because I did promise my daughter that I was gonna have breakfast with her because we need to test if she's got COVID. Joys. Just gotten back into my Ingram Spark account. I had to reach out via Facebook Messenger because even though I successfully generated a temporary password, it did not arrive in my email and their email support is hopeless. So if you're ever stuck with Ingram Spark support, just go straight to their Facebook Messenger service. Sid on that team is really fantastic and I was finally able to get back in. When I logged in this morning, I saw some books. When I tried to upload my KDP paperback again, I got a response back saying apparently there is like some gaps on the layout and I'm just like, where are these so-called gaps? I can't see them. I have finally finished typesetting just the English only version. I have uploaded all the files. I'm gonna grab some lunch and when I come back from lunch, I'm going to do the paperback version. I have just checked where my delivery is and apparently my hardcovers are gonna come today. I really hope that it does get here before I have to go and pick her up at 2:30. I don't even know why I just looked at my wrist because I didn't actually wear a watch. This just arrived from Ingram Spark. I am so relieved about this. I am now super late to pick up my dog, so we're gonna race the clock. Python text. Cycling in spring. In terms of what's next, I'm looking forward to publishing my debut fantasy novel. I am in the back end of revisions right now. This morning I just got started on the very last big structural revision I have to do before I can wrap up. So I am thinking that I might actually be able to make a May publication date. I don't know what this means for my bilingual kids books. I need to jump onto the Sanderson Kickstarter countdown.
3, 2, 1, yay!
Oh my goodness. 185,300 backers have pledged $41.7 million in total to this Kickstarter. That is insane. This is what came through from Ingram Spark. There is a little bit of a gap that's visible. Some of the printing on the edges of the spine, like they're not perfectly aligned, but it's fine. I'm just gonna go with it because I've got lots of things to mail out today. Somebody actually purchased a personalized signed hardcover from my website. I put the option up there like just in case, and it turns out somebody did want to buy it. It is another dreary rainy day outside, and yeah, I need to figure out some way of getting all of these things to the post office without getting everything wet. It is almost 2:45 in the afternoon. We need to go. We are off to the post office and to pick up our daughter. Hopefully we shall get there in time. I think we might get caught in the rain on the way back. Shipping is also a real killer. I absolutely have to find a better way to ship books to people. It cost me nearly $40 to ship 2 hardcovers to the US. It has been over a week since I contacted KDP, and yesterday evening when I was cooking dinner, they finally got back to me with a reason. In this section here, they have a problem with the fact that there are spaces there. I need to come in here, move this in, delete a bunch of spaces. That is all I needed to do. I'm just kind of mad that the generic response is not like more helpful in just saying like, how do you check for hidden characters like spaces and empty lines and things like that in your text? Also, I'm just like, Debbie, you should just really crack onto writing that checklist for the next time you do one of these book uploads, which is going to be like next week because you still have the Cantonese versions to do. It's been just over a week since my book came out, which was last Thursday, and I'm feeling relieved. I initially thought I wasn't going to do any more after this one, but I keep getting such good feedback on them that part of me wants to keep on doing them. To make them commercially viable, I do think I'm going to have to look into offset printing and a Kickstarter model. I don't want to spend too much time on the marketing or the logistics piece at the moment because I don't have enough of a back catalogue out already to make the ROI on some of those activities worthwhile. So my focus for the next year is going to be publish as many books as I can without killing myself. Easier said than done. I absolutely had no idea how different the daily routine was going to be with my daughter starting school. Although now that she's getting older and she has this concept of me being an author, she has started doing really cute things like publishing little books of her own. So I'm very excited for the day when she will conceptualize enough of the story structure to have a beginning, a middle, and an end to her little stories, and then we can just work on her books together. In the transition going from preschool to primary school, I have effectively lost 2 full-time days of work. I have not been able to figure out a way to claw back those 15 hours at the minute, so I'm just gonna have to deal with the fact that I have less hours to work with, which means I really need to be much more efficient with them, which really means I need to get onto that checklist ASAP. Speaking of, I completely forgot that school holidays and Easter are a thing, so there will not be an upload on Good Friday next week. In the meantime, you can enjoy this video which goes through every single mistake I made when I published my first book.